Last episode, we built my worst contraption yet. And I want to fix that today. Welcome back, everyone, to the Hardcore Create mod. I don't know what episode number we're up to. Apparently, it's episode 30. Oh, that's the unlucky number. I could die today. And that is not an incorrect statement. Just like last episode, I am going to be working on a project that could kill me. I almost went over this railing. Okay, let's just put something there. Now, what do I mean by that? Because I don't mean like, oh, the project is really dangerous, like if I stand in the wrong place it's just gonna kill me in a second. No, I mean like I'm stupid and I will kill myself. I really hope my parents understand the concept of a game when I am talking like this. So yeah, what do I mean by this is a really dangerous project? Well, last episode we made this wonderfully inefficient machine, and if you can't tell by the massive hole here, it's a chunk miner. So you know, this was working for 8 hours, and it managed to dig out this entire chunk all the way down to the bottom. Oh, hey, what is that? Oh, it's an Enderman. Okay. So yeah, this project took 8 hours, and it sucks. It's slow, it's inefficient, and it took more resources to build than it actually got me. So today, I want to improve this. And when I say improve, that basically means completely redesign it. This thing is awful. So how are we going to improve upon that chunk miner? Because when I built it, I thought it was really good. And as a bit of a recap, if you weren't here last episode, which if you weren't, welcome to the channel, that chunk miner basically worked by you had a gantry shaft going across the top here. And then let's say this is your little contraption. This contraption would basically lower all the way down to the bottom of the world, like the entire way down, went all the way to bedrock, and because it has drills on the bottom, it was clearing out an entire row of a chunk. So yeah, basically it digs all the way down, gets all the way to the bottom with the drills, and then once it hits the bottom, it came all the way back up, sat about there, did a whole bunch of redstone magic, which I don't want to try and explain, which moved it across by 1 block, and then repeated the process. And basically, through doing that, we were able to mine out an entire chunk 1 row at a time, which is not great, because as I said, this thing took 8 hours to work. That means half an hour for each row, which granted, it's like faster than a person could probably dig it, but for the amount of time that this took and the amount of resources spent on it, that is not great. So how is that going to be improved upon? Because as I said, I was really proud of that system because, you know, I thought I was saving resources. You know, instead of digging out the entire layer of a chunk at once, why not dig out 1 row and then move across by 1 block and dig out another row? It's one of those things where it really felt like it should work in theory, but then once you actually work on it, it just doesn't. But you know, perseverance is all what this Minecraft world is about. That's not what it's about. But just for the moral of this episode, we're going to pretend it is. So, what's my new idea? Well, my dear fellows, I am going to need to go and get a bunch of resources. This is still going to be expensive. So, I need a pulley, I need a mechanical bearing, I need a whole bunch more linear chassis, probably a bunch of barrels, and I'd say a decent supply of drills. Let's get to work on that. Oh, I've only got 1 drill in here. Okay, that was really quick, and I think we have all of the stuff that we need, at least to make a little test example. So, just like how I did it with the last chunk miner and stuff, I just want to see if I can make a little working prototype just to show off my idea. So, something that we have worked out in my short little time using Create mod is that if you have a pulley and you basically attach something mechanical to it like a drill, when the pulley is lowered down, it also spins the drill. So, if I just put some cobblestone under this or something and I spin it, yeah, as you can see, the drill is mining through the stuff. This is where my idea comes from, because my idea is basically, if we are able to put mechanical energy into something like a drill, can we also put it into a bearing? Because here's the other thing, just like with the pulley, if you have something like a bearing with rotational input going into it, and then we put a drill on the bearing, I think that'll work. Basically, as the bearing spins, it also applies that rotational force into the drill. But here is where we get to exploit another Create Create mod feature. And this is where the idea comes from and why I didn't think of this last time. Because I didn't realize this until we actually built the last version and I saw it happening. But basically, even if your drill doesn't need to move directly down into a block, if there is a block in front of it which it could mine, basically it will stop the entire contraption. Okay, that's in the wrong place. It will stop the entire contraption to start drilling that. And that is an absolutely massive feature. Because essentially, my idea here is basically, can we take a pulley, attach a bearing to that pulley, so obviously the bearing is going to spin whilst the pulley is spinning. Maybe that doesn't work. I don't know if I saw that doing anything. And whilst that bearing is spinning, basically it's got a bunch of drills hanging off of it. And as those drills are spinning, basically, obviously they're mining out the stuff below it, even though technically they don't need to. But just because they can and they are in the way of the drill and they're in sight, basically it's gonna mine them. Even if those blocks wouldn't necessarily get in the way of the contraption. I'm trying to think of a good way to explain that, because I feel like I'm not making the most sense with it. Basically, take something like this, and if we just make this 3 blocks wide, and we attach some drills to it and glue it together. Now, if I'm correct, when I hit that, yep, okay, it all spins. Here's the interesting thing. Now, this contraption doesn't move up and down. So, theoretically, unless a block was, like, right here or something, it's not in the way. But the drills are still going to mine all of this stuff below it, even though they're not in the way of the drill. So if I start putting rotational input into this, what we're going to see is, even though there's nothing in the way of those drills, it should be able to work. Essentially, they're still mining through all of the blocks. So what this means, if my idea does work, we're not exactly going to be digging out a chunk. We're more going to be digging out a circle. And if someone wants to do the maths on this for me, please go ahead. So obviously a chunk is a 16 by 16 square. So the area of this hole is 256 blocks. Like, that is the top surface area of this hole. Now, obviously a circle is going to cut off the corners in a rounded edge. However, because all of this is being lowered down from a central point, because essentially everything's going to be spinning around the pulley, because basically it's going to be a pulley and then a drill on that pulley, everything is going to be spinning around a central point. So if we came 8 blocks out from the bearing or the pulley, basically that means you're going to have 8 blocks this way. I did not count that. So yeah, you're going to have 8 blocks, then you're going to have the block that the pulley is going under, but because this is spinning, it's also going out 8 blocks this way. So essentially, you're digging out a circle with this diameter. So is someone able to tell me what's going to take up more resources? Is it going to be the 16 by 16 square, or is it going to be the 17 by 17 circle? Because also the thing to consider here is we're not going based on what would mathematically be correct. We're going with what can be made out of squares. Like, we're working with cubes, so we're not going to get a perfect circle. You're going to get a circle made out of cubes, which means you're probably gonna have some bits added on, you're gonna have some bits taken off. So there you go, there's a little challenge for you guys. In the comments, what mines out more, a 16 by 16 square or a 17 block wide circle in Minecraft? Not in real life mathematics, in Minecraft. If someone does actually work that out, I will, like, pin your comment or something. Side note, I am just going to quickly make a new axe because my current one is almost broken. Actually, I'm a little bit curious. Do I get anything out of this if I crush it? I don't think I do. I think I just lost my axe. Yeah, okay, it's gone. Well, I guess that's another reason to get a new one. So, anyway, yeah, that is basically my concept for how this drilling thing is going to work. Essentially, can we put a bearing on a pulley and have it all spin around and dig out a massive hole? And all of this relies on the single hope that, yes, a pulley is going to apply rotational input into a bearing. So, please tell me this works. Like, can I just try it out with some linear chassis? That should be connected, right? So, let's see. Oh, that's not spinning. Okay, so, We might have a problem. How do I get you to spin? Is there like a setting I can change somewhere? What's this? Right, we have a little bit of a problem here. How do I apply rotational input into this? Oh, well, the issue isn't really how do I apply rotational input into this. It's how do I apply rotational input and then also move this thing down. Because that's the whole thing with this system in here as well. It's like, it's not necessarily powering the drills that's the problem. It's powering the drills and then getting them to move. So, how do I do this? I take it I can't attach, like, a moving water wheel to it. What if I do it the other way around? I put a pulley on a bearing. So, basically, if I go and put that there and then put the pulley below it, is this going to lower down whilst also rotating? Oh! Well, it rotates. It doesn't lower down, though. Great. Okay, so my current issue is I can rotate it but not move it down, or I can move it down but not rotate it. And I would like to point out, one of those issues has already been solved. It's the I can move it down but not rotate it, and that is what resulted in this thing, which took 8 hours to work, and I do not like. How do I solve this? I'm screwed. Let me go and investigate a mechanical bearing for a second. How can I make a contraption move down and it still rotate? Literally every problem this episode would have been solved if pulleys just applied their rotational input into a mechanical bearing. Just a quick guess here. Do they rotate cogs? That did not look like it was rotating a cog. How can I solve this issue? A piston, maybe? Like, I could have it push the whole thing down, but then how do I apply rotational input into the bearing still? Plus, that would require a massively long piston, and there would be no way of bringing it back up. How do people do this? There's people smarter than me at Create Mod. Like, that much is obvious. I am by no means a Create Mod genius. Very much far from it. How can I do this? What is a hose pulley? Fill or drain large bodies of fluid. What? Oh my god, that is awesome. Unfortunately, unrelated to what we need. I can't think of a way this could be lowered down and then pulled back up. And like, I can think of ways that you could lower it down, but they all sort of require a mechanical piston or something pushing it down. And like, it would get really complicated. Stuff would have to be put in place. Like, you would need shafts or something just so that you can maintain power to it. There has got to be a way people do this. I just can't think of that way. And what's annoying is powering two separate components at the same time is not that difficult. It's just the fact that one of those components at least has to be in motion. And when it's in motion, there isn't really anything we can do. Especially with a pulley, because pulleys just break. JEI, please help me. Please tell me there's something that exists here that can do this. Okay, this is unrelated to my idea, but I wonder if train tracks are going to show if it's like possible to apply rotational input to something that is moving. And the reason why I want to ponder train tracks is just because I feel like if anything's going to say that yes, that is possible, it's going to be a train. That didn't show it. Is this actually possible? I have an idea. I've got an idea. Oh, this could be smart. This could be smart. I really just hope I don't forget it by the time I actually build it. I don't need another mechanical bearing. Where is it? Where is it? Show me stuff. What do I need? I need a thing. What's it called? What's it called? What's it called? What's it called? Somewhere. It is somewhere. This thing. This thing. Sequence gear shift. This. Right, okay, so a sequence gear shift allows for something like this to go on. I know what I'm doing here now, I think. How do I make one of you again? Oh, it requires one of those. Dang it. Okay, you know what we're actually gonna do? We're just gonna go and steal the old one. There's one of these things included in here, and this whole thing is never gonna be used again. The chunk is already mined out, so I might as well just go and steal the bit. Okay, and I think I also need these things. The redstone contact. Oh, and maybe do I need this with... No, I can't do it with an elevator pulley, because that would require the pulley first, which is not what we're doing. Hold on, guys. Just trust me. This is a good idea. I really hope this works now, otherwise I'm gonna look like an idiot. Where's my redstone? Give me that. Right, okay, so I need this. I'm actually gonna need more redstone. Okay, wait, hold on. There's probably a... Dude, you stole my floor. Right, what I was gonna say is there's probably a first thing that I should check, which is, can I rotate a pulley that has been extended? Because if I can't, then this idea is useless. So, right, give me that pulley. I just need to extend you a little bit. There we go, 1 block should be fine. And now, can I rotate you? I can! Hold on. This just requires a little bit of checking. Okay, so, my idea. You guys are gonna love this. So, my idea is basically, we rotate this thing around, it does a full loop. And the way we check when it's done a full loop is through the, like, redstone things. What are they called? These things, the redstone contacts. So, basically, we have a redstone contact attached. It would actually be above the bearing here. Sorry, not above the bearing, above the pulley. I just haven't included it on this. But basically, we have a little redstone contact thing that is detecting when this thing has done a full circle around. Because, theoretically, we should be able to pick up on that. I'm just hoping it powers at the right time, because if it doesn't, then there could be problems. Oh, that could actually be a lot of problems. But anyway, right, so basically, this thing, it does a full little loop around. What's a loop? That's not a loop. That's a loop. So it does a full little loop around, and then the system picks up on it through the redstone contacts. And what that does, it temporarily depowers this, just so, you know, it stops rotating. And then, because this has been rotated into place, this pulley, we now know exactly where it is, and we know what way it's facing, because it's done a loop. And a loop starts and ends in the same place. So what that means is we're able to basically have a shaft here, which is coming out of the pulley, but it's not actually connected. So when this thing is rotating and stuff, the pulley actually doesn't connect to this. At least I really hope it doesn't. Yeah, so notice how basically the whole thing is spinning, but this shaft is not going anywhere. What that means is essentially once this has done a full loop, we know exactly where this thing is facing, meaning that whilst it is stopped, we can apply a quick rotational input into it, which is going to lower it down by 1 block. And we do that using the sequence gear shift, so we know exactly how far it is rotated and what 1 block is. And then once it has done that, we send power back into the mechanical bearing up here, and it starts spinning around again. And because of how we established drills work earlier, basically it goes and digs out a hole. That is my idea, and I will now take a bow. Please cheer. The one thing is that I have noticed that every time this spins around, it doesn't break the middle block, which is, you know, a little concerning on my part. So I should actually probably just do a quick test. Like, is this going to break a full block? Like, if I just give it enough time, is it going to break a full block? It is not breaking the block. Does that mean I need to dig a hole down the middle? Oh, that would suck. And again, I swear the whole point of these things is that we don't need to break a hole. Like, the whole point of these things is it breaks the hole for us. I don't want to have to dig down to the bottom of the world first. It should be this thing's job to do it in the first place. How do people build these things? Never in my life did I think that chunk miner would be the thing that takes me out of create mode. Like, I actually don't understand these things. Okay, making a bet here, I'm going to say that when a mechanical input is put into a piston, my guess is that just like everything else, the bearing is not going to rotate. Yeah, the bearing doesn't rotate. Okay. If it did, then I could have worked with that. Okay, I have an idea. And it's an old idea. It's an idea that I had earlier, but I didn't want to work on it because I was convinced there would be a better way. And now I'm not so convinced. I mean, no, there is a better way. The better way is to just, like, give in and make a bunch of drills. If I just gave in and I made a bunch of drills and I made a bunch of these contraptions, it would be brilliant. I could have made 15 of these chunk miners by now. I could have cleared out an entire world and I could have gotten so many resources. But no, I have to be stubborn and I have to constantly persist and be like, no, I have to do this. But that's a really stupid mentality to have sometimes with this. Right. Okay, I know what I'm doing. In fact, I'm kind of convinced that I know what I'm doing so much that I'm debating whether it's worth actually trying to build a little test subject here, or if I should just go and actually build it. No, I should make a test. I really should make a test. Don't get sucked into the confidence that you can do this. Make a bloody test. Actually be sure. Right, okay, let's see if I can work this out. Okay, I think I've got it. Now, as stated before, this is just a test. So, first of all, it is not accurate to the scale that we need. And also, it could break. In fact, it's quite likely. But basically, so imagine that this is a pillar dug all the way down to the bottom of the world. Because, yeah, I really cannot find a solution that doesn't require me digging a hole down prior. Or at least not a complex version like this. If you had a chunk miner that just mined out the entire chunk, like a full 16 by 16 area at once, yeah, you wouldn't need one of these things. But because I am doing it in a much more complex way, but hopefully much cheaper in resources, which this one definitely is, if it works that is, then hopefully we're okay. Now, if I am correct, everything is glued the way it should be. So, essentially, you have this bearing here, which is constantly spinning around, and it is able to spin around the pulley. Now, because the contraption isn't assembled yet, I think this can be powered and it'll still work fine. I'm just not entirely sure. So, you know, we're giving it a little space. But my hope here is that basically, this thing spins around, it does a full 360, and that is checked by the redstone thing here. I don't know the name of it. Oh, actually, we really should tell this, only place in an initial angle. But essentially, this is going to do a full loop around. What that will quickly do is it powers this. This is a clutch, and basically powering this means we stop all rotational input into here. So that means that we stop spinning everything around. Then, because everything is locked in the position that it is in currently, that means that when we power this, we are able to send a rotational input into this, basically telling it, okay, spin 135 degrees in the correct angle, or sorry, the correct rotational direction. And that essentially lowers this by 1 block. And we may need to add a longer delay here, but essentially, whilst it does that, it also sets a timer for this, which essentially turns off the clutch and depowers this. Really hoping that all of this goes well. And hopefully, if all of the timing on that is correct, basically what it will do, it will lower down the thing by 1 block, and because there's no block in the middle, hopefully nothing is in the way. I'm also hoping that these things are sensitive enough to the point where, like, it's not going to power unless it is actually rotated fully. Why do I keep getting lag spikes? Yeah, I'm hoping that it doesn't power unless it is actually in the correct position, and it will get better with some fine-tuning. We may also just need to add some more delays into it and stuff, but when this is on a larger scale, hopefully it's fine. So yeah, I don't think anything is going to happen when I power this. Oh, okay. No, it is indeed spinning. But what we should be seeing, so it gets around, and you did not lock. Why didn't you lock? You should have locked. Oh, it's the pulsar. I didn't want to eat that. I wanted to eat bread. I just wasted a golden apple. Oh, okay. So my pulse extender is too long. That's actually what's happening. So if I just break the pulse extender, you are... Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. What are you doing? Oh, of course, you're powered either way. That's an issue. Yep, that's a real issue. Oh, Lord, that is an issue. Oh, how did I not realize you would do that? Okay, it's fixable. It's just annoying. Please break the button. That needs a pulse extender. No, wait, no, it needs a shorter delay. Oh, wait, hold on. No, this also need, always place when stopped. Go on, stop in place, stop in place. You repowered too quick. Oh, wait, hold on. You were kind of working. No, wait, no, you weren't working. Stop. Okay, stop. Look, can you stop? Thank you. Right, okay, I need a longer delay. That is legitimately just what I need, I think. I think that is actually it. I just need a longer delay. Update. Oh, you're stop. Oh, wait. Wait, dude, tell me you were working. Wait. Oh my god, I think that was working. I think that was working. So everything's kind of stopped in the wrong position. Yeah, everything's stopped in the wrong position, but that's just because it broke. So, no, stop. Unassemble. Thank you very much. Okay, right. Stick that there. That's gonna move down a block. Yeah, you're not glued in place though. Please stop. Oh, stop. Right, you come all the way back up. No, up, not down. Oh gosh, the ultimate stress test on a system is just actually building it and hoping it works. This is also probably making sense to absolutely no one but me. So, sorry about that. It's just how my brain works. Right, can I just check? Okay, so that position is glued. Put that there. Okay, so you're gonna move down by a block, then you started spinning too early again. Okay, no, just stop. Any more repeaters I can steal from this thing? Okay. I think this is all working. So, once again, just put that there. Okay. You're working. You're doing it. You're doing exactly what I want. Oh my god, is this working? Wait, hold on, is this working? I mean, like, I know I was really confident that it would work, but, like, I wasn't expecting it to actually work. Oh my god, I'm a genius. Guys, I'm sorry to tell you this, but, like, I am the smartest person on the planet, because I have just made this. I have just made an absolutely legendary machine. Look at this. And as long as the space here is clear, like as long as there is an empty area down the middle, this works fine. Guys, I am amazed. But, like, yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, I am just the smartest person on the planet. Only the most intelligent person in the world could have made this thing. But, like, no, genuinely, I am so happy with this. Let me just turn it off. I am so happy with this because look at how simple the redstone is for it here. This is, what, 10 repeaters, 2 redstone torches, and, like, a little bit of redstone dust. This could fit in the room of a house because this is all the redstone that is needed. You don't need anything else. The most you might want to put is maybe a gear shift somewhere just to bring it back up once it's done. Compare that little redstone, all of that redstone. That is the entire bit. That works. That is all the redstone that it will ever need. Compare that little bit of redstone to everything that this required here. And remember, this redstone has to go down to the bottom of the world. You see that slight little row of light there? There is redstone there. All of this redstone and all of the mechanisms and stuff. In the time span of one episode, I have managed to learn how to take something that was this big, literally took digging down to the center of, literally took digging down to the bottom of the world in order to get it to work. We have just taken redstone from the top to the bottom of the world and compressed it down to the size of a room. This is literally the equivalent of when we learned how to compress a computer down into the size of a box. I am genuinely really proud of this, just purely because I have managed to take something which was so complex and compress it down into something so simple. And now, it's time we actually built the real thing. Oh, please just tell me it works in that. Let's get to it. This is done. And as you can see, it's a little bit bigger than our last chunk miner and stuff in terms of the actual contraption. However, the actual redstone behind it and stuff, and if you took the entire build, this is so much smaller. And yeah, it's currently disabled because, so you may have seen it in the time lapse if I turned it into one. I accidentally turned on the bearing at one point and it span around so quick. And it was really funny, a little bit scary. So I'm gonna try and turn this on in a second. And I'm gonna hope it works. Because, you know, there's every chance that it doesn't. And, like, I've tried making it a little bit faster and stuff, so you'll notice it's actually digging it out on both sides. That has multiple reasons. So, first of all, it just makes it a little bit quicker because, essentially, you're doubling the speed. Instead of one set of all of the, like, drills and stuff mining out, you've got 2. But also, I'm hoping that what it means is basically every single layer should get clear. That's the hope with it. every single block on this layer should get cleared. Because, you know, there's a slight issue where, if it doesn't clear every block, when it lowers down, it might lower down if it's cleared everything in the way at first, but then as it's spinning around, it's gonna get caught on a block if it isn't mined out in time. And that could kill it. So by having it where essentially the thing has to do a full loop to come around, but you've got a copy of it on the other side without it stopping. I have no idea if that makes sense, but essentially as long as that bit is able to come around and do a 180, this side should be able to do a full 360. That's essentially how it works. You'll also notice it is spinning significantly faster. That's just because we've got like 2 water wheels and stuff, which doesn't actually add speed, that just adds power. But then we have 2 multipliers, so this is going at ×2 speed and then ×4 speed. So it's going 4 times faster than our test. It is several times more powerful, and I am hoping that just when I place in this block, it's gonna work. Now, the other thing to keep in mind, it's not entirely ready because we do still need to bore out a hole all the way to the bottom, which it's not able to do right now. At least I'm not sure it will. So yeah, if it does work, I'm still gonna need to pause it and like dig out a hole all the way down to bedrock and then come back up, and then I can enable it. Or who knows, maybe I will be surprised in a second and this is going to... Okay. You're working, you seem to be working. Oh my god, this is so much quicker. And yeah, it's definitely leaving blocks behind. That is something important. Look, we are leaving quite a few blocks behind. I am hoping those get cleared out on the second way round. Yeah. Okay, look at that. So, oh. Okay. It was a little bit aggressive. Okay, do you see what I mean by this thing is kind of scary when it spins around? But that did indeed work. So yeah, it spins around several times and it takes quite a few attempts for it to lock up, but that cleared out a layer way quicker than our previous one did. So, right, okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna break that redstone and that should kind of lock it. It might not get locked in the same position. Okay, right, that's fine. But if I come and look down here, so we should see there's gonna be a bunch of resources in a barrel somewhere. I don't know which barrel. Let's just go along. Ah, okay, right, so that is probably all of the resources from that layer, I bet. Yeah, okay, so that looks like it picked up everything. And yeah, my job now is to go and clear out a hole down to bedrock. I'm probably gonna need a bunch of ladders with this as well. And then, yeah, I can enable probably the scariest machine that I have ever made. It is terrifying as it spins around. There is like 0 health and safety regulation on that thing. Right, there we go though. So it should be safe. No one should stand anywhere in the way of this. So all that's really left to do now is quickly power the other water wheel, although it was actually still powered. The wonders of Minecraft water physics. We'll make a little place for us to go and sit whilst I'm AFK. And yeah, let's re-enable this. This is, oh my god, it is so scary to look at. But right, so what we are hopefully going to see is it's going to stop itself. Yep, there we go. Lower down by 1 block. Absolutely perfect. And now re-enable itself. And I am just gonna quickly break safety regulations and stand here. I just want to watch it go through once more because yeah, I need to make sure that this thing isn't gonna break whilst I'm AFK. That would be bad. So yeah, it leaves blocks behind, but luckily it sort of seems to catch them as it goes around again. And yeah, if I really wanted to fix that, all I would need to do is actually make it like sort of a cross shape with the drills, I think. But by the looks of it, it is working perfectly, and oh my god, it is so quick. Little bit of a shame that we can't get the XP, but yeah, safety regulations. I really should not walk down there. I almost don't want to go AFK. I almost just want to sit here and watch it. I don't have time for that though, so here's a time lapse. Oh, man. Okay, it's done. Oh my gosh. Yep, it's done, and oh my gosh, it's deadly. So, that was around 2 hours, maybe 3. And, yeah, it's done. And now its only purpose, really, is just to spin around at insane speeds. So, welcome back, everyone. As I said, it's been around 2 or 3 hours, which is much quicker than the last one. And, yeah, just wait for a safe time to go and look, and, yeah. Now, what's fun about the fact that it's just dug into a massive pit of lava is, remember how... Oh, gosh, okay, it is actually catching on fire. Remember how I had to dig, like, a tunnel down? Like, I had to dig a tunnel down the middle. If I dug in the other direction, I would have hit lava, which is kind of insane to think about. Right, I need to wait for the... I don't trust moving whilst it's spinning around. Right, go on, lock in place. Right, there we go. Okay. Now, the thing is, I do see that it keeps catching on fire and stuff. I'm hoping it's just gonna be okay right now. But essentially, what I should be able to do is, if I just, like, come over here or something, let's just do that, swap in a gear shift and turn that on. What we should hopefully now do is basically bring it up a little bit each time. Oh my god, it is so bad just standing around here. So yeah, what we should see is actually now it's going to bring itself back up every single time. And yeah, it's gonna make its way slowly and stuff, but I'm not too bothered. And in fact, if I just set this to double speed and then I just up this angle, hopefully we can bring it up even faster. I really want to go and look, but the thing is, I don't trust moving whilst this thing is spinning around. This could genuinely hit me off the edge. Create mod items are solid, so if I stand in the wrong place and this thing slaps me, it's just gonna shove me right down the pit. This thing is in no way safe. Right, let me down a little bit. Is that actually coming back up? Okay, yeah, it is. It's just going slowly. Oh my gosh, please stop, you are so terrifying. My god, right, okay. Right, the other way I might be able to basically just bring this back up is if I power this at the right time. Yeah, so something like right now, just power that. Okay, and now basically I just need to, right, this reverses an input, right? Oh wait, it's actually acting like a redstone clock, so it's gonna bring itself up bit by bit. And also, I can actually go and stand here now without feeling like I'm about to get slapped into the abyss. This is still really dangerous, though. I'm excited to see what resources this has managed to get, though. Right, also, actually, I have just realized, so I can take this. If I just get a gearbox, that should invert the signal and do that. Yep, there we go. This is bringing it up. I just realized, how do I get its resources? How do I get to it? I guess I've just got to build a little bit of a bridge out, haven't I? Because that's not terrifying at all with the massive pit of lava. And there we go. Look at that. Perfect. Right, okay. Time to make my way to it. Dude, I'm gonna be honest, it's really cool to look at, though. But right, okay, let's see what this thing has gotten me, given the fact that this has taken probably under a stack of redstone to build. This thing is likely to be very profitable. So, right, let's see. We have a stack of raw copper, some raw zinc, some raw iron, some coal, more iron, more zinc, more copper, more coal, some gold, some lapis, more lapis. You get the point. I'm just gonna tell you the total at the end. Dude, this has been way more profitable than the last one, though. Look at this. Dude. For under a stack of redstone to build this? And the fact that in reality, it really doesn't take long to build. It's just honestly the fact that I decided to build this underground that added a lot of the time. This is insane profits. Just look at that. I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably gonna build more of these in future. Although, I think if I do build them in future, I'm not gonna do them here in the mines. Where I'll probably put them in is like in this valley over the back here or something. Because like if I just go and put these above ground in an area that like I really don't want to work in, it's gonna be much quicker to set up and will hopefully work really well. Because like they don't have to be underground. I've just put all of mine underground because like I like them being here. But with that, I'm gonna call this project a success.